Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason, as always, my co-host, the voice of MMA in Utah, Zack Partridge in the house.
Going round 2 commentary tonight.
Round 2 commentary. If you guys cannot make it to the Maverick Center tonight for the Fierce Fighting Championship, log in online, and it's just going to be like we're doing a podcast, but we're going to watch fights and we're going to scream like little kids.
Hold on, I am asking a question. Getting a confirmation on something real quick.
Like, how pumped up can we get?
No, I want to see, because like we get pretty good service in the Maverick Center.
Okay.
I want to see if we can set up the laptop and go live on stream while we're recording, so like people can just watch us. They can get like the screen. They can have the lights up, and then they could also have us
screaming.
Because
it's just going to be us screaming the whole time.
No, it's gonna be.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be really good.
It's going to be good. It's a good night of fights.
It's a great night of fights. I saw the face-offs this morning. I waited all night for them, and they kept me, because I go to bed early, they kept me in the loop till the morning, but I did get to see the face-offs.
Bro, so one thing that's like, I don't think people understand that's getting harder and harder with where we're at is we're more frequently coming across fights of like people are fighting that we like both of them.
There's a lot of them on this card too.
And it's like, sometimes it's like, yeah, he's a really good guy. I would like to see him go far in his career. But then the other guy's like somebody we would consider like a personal friend.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or you get one where it's like, I mean, the obvious one is, right, Lucas Montoya was my jiu-jitsu coach and I give him a lot of credit for helping me advance my mixed martial arts, especially on the ground.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of credit for my advancement and like my growth in that area in my own career. But like Steve's become somebody that I really look up to and respect and gotten to know over the past year as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard.
Yeah. There's,
I don't know what's worse, if I'm going to be happier for my friends that win or more bummed out for my friends that lose, because we're going to have both.
You know, I just think we sit back as fans and just enjoy the competition.
Oh, everybody knows what they signed up for.
Yeah.
Like, it just is what it is.
I love the camaraderie with Steve and Lucas. Like,
Yeah,
they're just
they're
two OGs of the Salt Lake City fight game.
What was your favorite face-off in the Fierce one? I have a favorite.
My favorite, which one did I like the most? I love Siler's face. I always love Siler's face off because he gets right in people's face.
That was mine.
And even, they shake hands. They were respectable.
They're walking toward each other, fist bump,
and then right in each other's face. I liked Mio's face off. It's a little intense there. Her opponent's game, ready to go. Who else? It's Steven and Lucas was just kind of
they take the cake.
Yeah. We're just two guys that are just going to go out there and throw down and give you guys a show. But it's a stat card.
Yeah. A couple things. I already had my highlight of the week for MMA.
Oh,
Ray Cooper
the third with the highlight reel.
I just went from, I have a bold prediction.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
I think the PFL will be more relevant in the MMA world than everybody but the UFC in the next 5 years.
I'm going to agree with that. You want to know why? And I almost told you this that night and I didn't tell you, and I'm going to tell you now. There's a lot of people that complain about a lot of the statistics that they put out and a lot of things they do.
The viewer experience
is
awesome.
That's what I was getting at. That viewer experience that they're giving, they are reaching out to a different type of clientele. Some of the diehard MMA fans, it's like, even when I first started watching, I'm like, this is stupid. But now I'm like, I get what they're doing.
No, I like it.
I do. It's on ESPN.
Strike count.
Yeah.
I like the ref cam.
Yeah.
I like the mile per hour on the punches, so you can see which punches you can kind of tell which punches they're putting a little more behind and which not. Like the more data and more information you get, even so if you're an uneducated fan or just a casual fan, it gives you more insight to what's going on and helps bring you up to speed on what's going on in the fight. If you're more into it and a diehard, it just gives you more to see and understand what's going on.
Yeah, I was impressed.
What
I
up,
like
Kai?
it. I love the viewer experience. Hey, shout out to Kai. He won the belt. last weekend.
Shout out Kai.
Took a short notice fight. I didn't see how the fight ended, but
short notice Kai.
Him and his lovely girlfriend both got the W's.
Kai short notice Stewart.
Kai hits hefty bag. Somebody had to get a hefty bag tattoo, and I don't know what the bet was for. Maybe he'll have to come on and tell us. Somebody must have bet him something because they got a hefty bag tattoo.
But I mean, there's a lot of good performances. Kayla Harrison did what she does. The homeboy that beat Clay Collard, now that everybody's really pissed because he ended up getting $1 million.
He ends up getting $1 million.
And I think that was Clay's. And I've rewatched that fight, and I still do believe Clay won that fight. But I mean, is what it is. We were both about to lose our minds. Is that poor girl that dominated Clarissa Shields?
Oh my
decision and almost got robbed.
You know what's sad is Jake Paul, one of the Paul brothers, was going hard on Clarissa Shields, right?
Did you see Dana's response to him?
Yeah. Dude, listen. I mean, I don't like him going at her like that, but her trying to justify, I lost a split decision. No,
you got ragdolled.
No, you got ragdolled. You got thrown into the MMA world and you lost.
Hey, but that's what she came here for, right?
She did.
To challenge herself.
I do
you have to give her credit for getting out of. Yeah,
and I do. I 100% do. I think she's getting into it too late in the game.
But yeah, can we just knock off this? She's going to dethrone Kayla Harrison nonsense.
There's not enough years in her life left to catch up to Kayla Harrison. She's unfortunately never going to be anything but a boxing superstar. I don't think she'll be anything in MMA. And that's not a. I'm not harping on her. Why?
Take that back.
Because she's from Flint.
No, I think she's a really good athlete that actually does have a chance of making a nice MMA career.
Styles make matchup.
She's at a good camp. She'll never be able to overcome an elite grappler, but she can become a competent grappler. And look, a lot of the dominant girls right now aren't wrestlers. There's not a ton of wrestling girls.
They're coming, dog.
But I think she's a better athlete. Like, it goes back to our conversation we talked about what happens when elite athletes start coming into the sport.
Yeah.
I think she's actually a better athlete than most of those girls.
I agree.
And her athleticism could carry her decently far. I'm not saying she'll ever be a UFC champion or anything like that, but I'm like, she could end up having some high profile fights that are meaningful in organizations.
She's impressive for what she's been able to do.
She's annoying as all get out on the mic.
ESPN did a very good job editing her pre-fight speech stuff. I'll just say that
she's annoying.
She's from Flint, Michigan.
I'm trying to give her credit.
She didn't.
For anybody tuning in, he's not trying to take a dig at Flint, Michigan.
No,
he's from Flint, Michigan.
I'm from Flint. She was. I mean, all in all, she was impressive. She looked good. She has good striking. She fights on the ground. She didn't gas at all.
I was impressed with her wrestling cardio.
Yeah.
She was trying to do the right things. There's just a little too much thinking and not enough muscle memory yet, but that'll come with time.
Yeah.
But Ray Cooper, again, I cannot say this enough. I want to see him fight everybody now. Are you kidding me? He gets wrestled for the first round, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. And then he out wrestles the Dagestani.
He cracked the code. You said it. He cracked the code.
Right?
He cracked the code.
He out wrestled the Dagestani for a round. And then put his lights out in the third. He literally let the guy punch himself out on his face first. But you can't stand and bang with. You
cannot stand and bang with the Hawaiians.
It's like a universal law, like gravity.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't stand and bang with the Hawaiian and expect to win.
No,
I don't care if you're from Dagestan. I don't care where you're from.
He was impressive. I woke my poor wife up. She was sleeping. She went to bed early. She wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
Screaming.
That
She's like,
knockout was
what's wrong? And I'm like,
is that not a top 10 knockout of all time?
You know what else was impressive? That heavyweight fight with Bruno Cappolazola and that Delija. Oh man.
Chunking leather.
After the first round, I'm like, how is this guy even standing? I think I messaged you and I'm like, dude, this guy had full mount. He's like dominating this dude. And like the last 30 seconds, Delija gets up and just starts throwing leather. Like he had an adrenaline shot. That was a fun card. PFL. I think you're onto something, dude.
Well, here's the Here's the reality of it is Bellator. Bellator's been missing something.
She won't survive Calvez. Calvez is my Flint Town homie.
Bellator has always just been missing something to get over the hump, right?
Yeah.
Everybody respects what Scott Coker's done. They're a good organization. They pay their fighters well. But they're obviously missing something because they have just not gone over and become mainstream as much as they've tried.
Because they're too much like the UFC, in my opinion. It's that
they're always going to be the little brother.
It's the difference in the PFL, like you said earlier. They're giving the viewers an experience. They're different. They're giving you a different experience than Bellator and UFC. They're entertaining. They're entertaining.
Can I
they had Wiz Khalifa in there?
I don't care about.
I didn't care about that, but did you see how the guy can fight?
Okay, he can hit pads.
Well,
pads don't hit back, Jason.
I know. I can't hit pads very like that.
But I'll bet you could fight from Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
a little bit.
No,
but here's the other thing that I think that people are missing. I think MMA fighters, and by the way, people are complaining about they can pay their guys whatever. They have 60 fighters. The UFC has 700. Like, calm down. They're a very unique niche.
Yeah.
But the one thing they're doing though is they get to handpick because everybody wants to fight in their tournament. If you're coming, I cannot tell you how many fighters we've talked to that their overall goal is the UFC.
Yeah.
But before they get to the UFC, they want to take a pit stop into the PFL for a few years. You know what I mean? I haven't had this conversations with people, but like I have not had this conversation with like a Cole Faust or even a Cole Schaefer or, people that like that I know that I potentially view as has the potential to get to that level.
Yeah.
I would have to imagine that, once you're a pro and you're knocking on the UFC's door, you have to take a very real look at maybe I go do 1 or 2 seasons at the PFL, then I try and break in at the UFC.
Yeah. It's my daughter calling.
Yeah,
she's probably trying to show me her costume.
It's about time.
I know.
Shaylee,
I never get a phone call.
No. But you know what I mean? And here's the other thing that I think that you can really like about the PFL. The seasons. I think that's fun. Because guess what? The fighters kind of already know, hey, I'm going to fight 3 to 4 times this year. In the UFC, you're not totally sure.
That style, that tournament style is appealing, I think, to people.
It's appealing to me.
It's appealing to sports fans in general. I don't necessarily think it would be a drawback, but there's really no, other than Kayla Harrison, there's really no stars of the PFL.
Ray Cooper is now.
Ray Cooper definitely is now.
I think Ray Cooper is.
Who do you think Ray Cooper's can hang with the Usmans and the Colbys? And
the first person that I thought of when I saw Ray Cooper fight that way was I want to see him and Colby Covington fight.
That would be good. That'd be a good fight.
I mean, we're both so high on Usman. Like, I really think Usman's on a path to, if he does this for another 5 years, he becomes one of the best MMA fighters of all time, and if not, passes GSP at some point.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about that because I've rewatched their fight again.
You know what I mean? But like all those guys that are right there under, I'm like, tell me like Ray Cooper versus Gilbert Burns. Sign me up. Ray Cooper versus Wonder Boy. Sign me up.
What if you get him into like anybody in Bellator? Give him any problems? Like Ryan Bader, who just beat Bader for the light heavyweight.
Well,
they're still doing the tournament.
No, you're talking Ray Cooper's a 170.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking
Lima.
Yeah. Give me Lima or Nemkov. Ooh. Okay.
I mean, him and Lima is a crazy. I mean, I don't know if he beats those guys, but I think he's right there. But Michael Venom Page, Ray Cooper, and Michael Venom Page. You want to see that?
I want to see it.
I do.
Sign me up. Yeah.
Or does he just keep doing that and cashing that millie every couple of years?
Why not? I mean, it's working for Kayla Harrison. We need to get Kayla Harrison some competition. That's the thing.
There isn't anybody.
I've heard a lot of people saying that she would beat Amanda Nunes.
She would.
I don't know about that right now.
She would.
I don't know.
She would.
I'm not sold on that.
I am.
I would like to be a fly on the wall when they're training, though.
Well, I think here's the thing. I think that they both have an elite skill set, but the one thing that when you talk about two elite people, who has the more dominant thing? Colby and Kamara, very similar, right? Elite cardio, both of them. Both of them have very high level grappling. Both of them have very good boxing and everything. What's the difference maker? Usman has a considerable difference in his strength and power.
That was the difference, and I'm rewatching that fight. It was the power advantage for Usman.
Right. So Colby, what adjustments can he make now that there's a number two? And then we can dig into that later.
Oh, we will.
So I'm looking at, does Amanda Nunes really have a grappling advantage on Kayla Harrison? No, she does not.
I don't know if it's a grappling advantage, but I don't think Kayla Harrison's going to out-muscle her.
I actually think she would.
See, I don't think so.
Dude, judo's different. Come on, we know that.
I know. I'm just saying.
Judo girls are different.
I'm giving Amanda some little bit of props.
Amanda has a better chance to crack her on the feet better than anybody.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
And that changes the game, but
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, she needs some competition, which unfortunately I don't think she's going to get. Should we break down this card since we got to hurry up and make our way to the Maverick Center?
Going to the Mav.
I think this is the first time I've dressed up since I've known you. In like 4 years. We got to dress up today.
Welcome to adulting, Jason.
We're going to dress up today. I'm going to dress up today.
This might be the first time people have seen me other than in a cage without a hat on.
Yeah. We won't be wearing hats.
I still might wear a hat.
Man, I'm not going to rock a hat, man. We got to look professional.
What?
We got to look like we do this crap for a living.
I do this crap for a living.
All right, let's break this fight down. Let's break this fight card down. We have, starting in the flyweight division, Tagir Ulanbekov against Alan Nascimento. Tagir is 12-1, stands 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. Nascimento is 18-5, stands 5'9" with a 69.5-inch reach. Tagir is a pretty big favorite, minus 340. The comeback is plus 260 for the Brazilian Nascimento. What do you like in this one?
I like Ulanbekov. He's minus 400. He's from Russia. He's 1-0 in the UFC. Nascimento, he lost his UFC debut and he lost in the Dana White Contender Series. Those are two of his losses. And it kind of just seems like to me that, typical Russian matched up against a Brazilian. It's not going to
end well.
Not going to end well. I don't like minus 400, but I think he smashes the win. I believe going the over 2.5 rounds, so going the distance is like minus 190. I think that's probably the best value in this fight.
Okay. Over Okay, what about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes. Sorry, our cord got disconnected. My bad. We've just been talking for like 20 minutes on mute.
Have we really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no.
I don't know when we kicked it out. No, somebody heard us. Yeah, now they can hear us. Somebody heard us earlier. We just kicked it out. Sorry, guys. We're back.
Little recap. So, no, but I think Petrosky, I actually think the UFC thinks he might be a star in the making. His style, heavy wrestler, but has good ground and pound, good finishing ability. I think this is a case of they're just trying to build this guy up, so they're just giving him an easy W.
The easy W. Petrosky. We're both going on Petrosky. Next up in the featherweight division, we have the guy with the dopest Tapology picture. Maquon, Amira, Connie versus Larone Murphy. Amira Connie is 16-6. He's 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. Murphy is 10-0-1. He stands 5'9" with a 73.5-inch reach. Murphy's a huge favorite in this, -340. The comeback is +260 for Mr. Tapology. That's what I'll call him because his Tapology picture is pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't.
Actually, there's another guy on here that's got a pretty cool Tapology picture too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. No, here's the thing. Americani has very good quality UFC experience. He doesn't really beat like top tier talent guys though. He kind of beats journeymen. And I think Murphy's better than a journeyman.
I think so too.
I do not love the -300 though. This is a stay away from you, dog. But I do think Murphy gets the win.
I will concur with you on that one. I think Murphy gets the win. I am staying far away because I do not like those odds. Next up in the light heavyweight division, we got Michel Oleksiejczuk. I probably just murdered that name against Shamil Gamzatov. Lord Michel is 15-4. He stands 6 foot tall with a 74-inch reach. Gamzatov is 14-0. He stands 6'2" with a 75.5-inch reach.
I just see Shamil as a. I just think Shamil is better everywhere, and I think he can dominate and control the fight. Long layoff, coming off of a couple-year layoff almost. But he's had good wins in PFL. He's still undefeated. I think he's had a hard time getting fights because he's a giant man for 205 as well.
Yes.
And his style is suffocating. And by the way, again, from Russia.
From Russia.
Pick against Russians. This is one of my, for him being a slight favorite, he's not even a 2-1. I think this is a nice spot here.
I'm in.
Proceed with caution, coming off a 2-year layoff, but I think he wins by smish.
Gamzatov, I'm on it. I've already booked it.
Book it.
Check. That's my first bet of the night was Gamzatov. Okay. Second bet of the night is in the welterweight division coming up where we have Elizu Zalinsky against Benoit Saint-Denis. Do you like that with the French accent? It's because my last name is Laporte. Zalinsky is Capoeira, 22-7. He stands 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Saint Denis is 8-0. He stands 5'11", and there's no reach listed on Tapology for him. I'll just tell you what I think. I already bet the under 2.5 on this one because I think Zalinsky gets it done. Saint Denis making his UFC debut, and I think Capoeira is just going to be too much for him.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if when you're looking at UFC debuters, I understand that Saint Denis he's got a lot of finishes. He looked like been dominant, but he's never really fought anybody on that high level before. And
he's getting a guy with almost 30 fights.
Dude, he has a win over Sean Strickland, Max Griffin. He's been in there with some good guys, and he's been around the UFC for a long time. I actually think we're getting very good odds on him on that one. That's a fight that I like a lot.
Book it. Under 2.5 for me. I'm on Zalinsky. Next up in the middleweight division, we have Albert Daruv against Roman Kopylov. Daruv is 14-3, stands 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. Kopylov is 8-1. He stands 6 foot tall with a 75-inch reach. Russia versus Russia. Daruv is a -275 favorite. The comeback is +210 on Kopylov.
I think Daruv is a big favorite because the run that he's on, he hasn't lost since 2014. He's a finisher. He had a very impressive finish on the Dana White Contender Series. Just 2 months ago?
Yeah.
I mean, he's coming in for the kill. And again, I like the activity and staying quick and the quick turnaround, where we haven't seen Roman since his loss to Carl Robertson, almost 2 years ago.
And he got submitted.
Roberson's kind of somebody that usually gets submitted.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
That's a big, that was his debut, and that was a big red flag to me. So I think Albert is the play here, and I think he gets the dub.
Book it. Machete. I'm going with Machete as well. Daruv for the win. Next up in the featherweight division, this should be a great fight. We got Zabura Tukugov Warrior against Ricardo Ramos. Tukugov is 19-5-1. He stands 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. Ramos 15-3. He stands 5'9" with a 72-inch reach. Pretty close on this fight. Tukugov is a -165 favorite with the comeback at +140 for Ramos. What do you think on this one, Mr. Partridge?
I'm going to go with the Russian on this one, just because he's had 2 losses in the UFC. Other than that, he hasn't lost since early 2012, and his 2 losses in the UFC was to Moicano and
Dawado. Hakeem Dawado.
Split decision losses.
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't tell you he belongs, he belongs. He did get a draw with Larone Murphy, who we just talked about. I think he only loses to really good guys. So if he's fighting guys like that to a draw, getting split decisions, knocked out Kevin Aguilar, who's no longer in the UFC, but he's been in the UFC for almost 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
I think he's a mainstay. If he could get a little bit more active, I think he could get a really good head of steam going here. But I like him in this fight, and I like the value.
You're taking the -165, huh?
Yeah.
I was tempted to go against you on this one, but I think I'm just going to ride with the chalk on this one. I will have some upsets here later. We're going to disagree on a few of these. We are going to disagree on the next one, are we?
I believe so.
Are we? Oh yeah, I think we're going to disagree on Amanda Ribas against Verna Jandiroba. Ribas is 10-2. She stands 5'3" with a 66-inch reach. Jandiroba 17-2. She stands 5'3" with a 64-inch reach. So slight reach advantage for Ribas. Odds are favoring Ribas a little bit. She's a -155 favorite. The comeback is +130 for Jandiroba.
We just saw, so Ribas, her only loss in the UFC was to Marina Rodriguez.
Yes.
And we just saw what Marina Rodriguez did in a main event.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this fight is actually perfect for Amanda Ribas to go ahead and stay on the outside, pick apart Crazy Eyes and win a unanimous decision.
I don't hate it, but I'm going to pick against you.
Okay.
Because I think Jandiroba is going to get crazy, and I think she's going to be a little more aggressive, and I think she's going to be stronger.
You got to use the word crazy.
Well, everybody knows she has crazy eyes.
She has some crazy eyes.
and
look at the camera, dang it!
And her walkout song,
"Island Boy,"
because I'm an island boy. That's going to be her walkout song.
She looks like she could be related to those two.
She does look like maybe she's like an aunt or something.
That's messed up.
Aren't they from like Cuba though? She's from Brazil. Close enough, right?
I mean, I like Amanda Ribas a lot.
I don't hate it. I'm really just taking the odds on Jandiroba.
Hey, for the record, congratulate. Like, this is a big card. Like, this is exciting. It's in the morning. It's UFC 267. It's free on ESPN Plus. You don't have to pay the pay-per-view. Thank you, Roman. I love this Contender Series.
I know.
Jason likes his too.
Mine's in the car. I threw on this one.
Shout out Contender Clothing.
Shout out to Contender Clothing. I am wearing my Contender underwear, but I'm not going to show everybody.
Do it. Show it. Happened or it didn't. Show it or it's not happening.
The contender underwear. Can you see the contender underwear?
No, you got to stand up and take off your pants.
Well, I'm not going to take off my pants, but they're right there. Shout out to Contender Series underwear.
Cover up.
This isn't OnlyFans, Zach. They have to pay. They have to pay for me to stand up and strip. Damn it.
Gosh. But for a UFC 267, like what would be like normally a pay-per-view card, but not a pay-per-view or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of an underwhelming undercard.
A little underwhelming.
But the main card, which we're about to
the main card is fire. You know what's really sold me on this card? Hasbullah's there.
Dude, he's out sucker punching people.
He's out sucker punching people that try to.
Dan Hooker wants to punt him.
Dan Hooker, did you see in the thing where he said he wants to have Abdul in his corner? The little guy that wanted to fight. They should have flown Abdul out there and let them face off.
They should have let those two fight.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, that would break the internet. If Hasbullah gets in there and him fight and Abdul fight, it's breaking the internet.
If we ever run a promotion, can we have little people in the intermissions?
Do we call them midgets or little? What do we call them?
I don't know.
Shit, we're gonna get in trouble.
But tell me, that's not with the
Cody's gonna message us. You guys can't do the broadcast tonight.
Have you ever gone to midget wrestling?
No.
Okay, we have to go next time they come to Salt Lake. We have to go.
Yeah.
We'll do the commentary for them. But could you imagine?
In an MMA fight?
Yes.
That would be pretty dope.
Gloves.
Get him some little gloves.
Let him go at it. Get Herb Dean to let the fight go too
dude,
long in there.
He throws a nice little hook. Hasbullah caught that dude.
Hey, and we trained Jordan, the 1-year-old son. He goes.
Does he?
Can't whistle, but he goes.
Nice. When next, I want to see him walk up to Hunter and do that.
He's sucker punch Hunter too.
Nice. Better watch out, Hunter. All right, so we're opposites on Hebus and Jandarova. Next up, we have Magomed Ankalaev. This is the light heavyweight division against Volt main card. This is the first fight on the main card. Holy crap. Yeah. Magomed Ankalaev against Volkan Ozdemir. Magomed's 15-1, stands 6'3" with a 75-inch reach. Ozdemir 17-5. He stands 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. I think I know where you're going on this one.
I'm like positive on this one. Like Magomed Ankalaev, I'm like positive that he beats Ozdemir on this one.
Yeah, I like that one. And I think the odds
they're probably fair.
Minus 350 and the comeback is plus 260 on Ozdemir.
I mean, put him in every parlay, everything. Like
book it.
He's not losing.
Book it, bink it.
Yeah.
All right.
Ozdemir just hasn't been the same since he lost to Daniel Cormier in that title fight.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're booking it. Magomed's for the win. And this fight's probably one of the most exciting fights that I'm looking for, and I know you are too. The welterweight division, Jingliang Li, the Leech, against Hazmat Chimaev, back in after his bout with COVID. Li is 18-6. He stands 6 foot tall with a 72-inch reach. Chimaev is 9-0. He stands 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. And Chimaev is a heavy. I think it's minus 600 now. It's Tapology says minus 450, but I think it's over 600 for him now. And I think the comeback on Lee was like plus 425 the last I checked. Yeah. I think we're both in agreement on this fight. We both like Chimaev.
Chimaev wins.
But
I really believe Chimaev wins.
But
the odds are so skewed. They're so crazy. And not giving
the Leech any love. And the guy, he's got experience. He can crack. Do you see the size of his dome?
Oh, he can crack. He put Ponzinibbio down. But that's probably his best win. Is Ponzinibbio coming off of a long layoff?
How can you not sprinkle a little bit on Lee?
Because I don't think he gets it. Like I don't think he gets it done. But I wouldn't.
I mean,
shouldn't be. I actually firmly believe that pretty much nobody in MMA should ever be bigger than a minus 500 if the matchmaking's been done correctly.
True. I agree with that. I can get down with that. I just think those odds are
they're crazy.
Especially with Chimaev being that. Dude, he just wanted to retire, 2-3 months ago?
Like 6 months ago.
6 months ago. And now he's getting back in there? I thought you're not in fight camp anymore and you're already having to pee? Zack is always in fight camp. 52-week athlete, baby. I'm going to pick Chimaev as my pick, but I am definitely sprinkling a little bit of cash on Lee on this one because it's MMA and you never know what could happen. All right. Next up, we have in the heavyweight division, Alexander Volkov is fighting Marcin Tybura. Volkov is 33-9. He stands 6'7" with an 81-inch reach. Tybura, 22-6. He stands 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. So got a 4-inch height advantage and about a 3-inch reach advantage for Volkov in this fight. Volkov is a pretty heavy favorite, minus 300. The comeback is plus 245 for Tybura. I already know where Zach's going on this one because we talked a little bit before we went on air. I don't know why, and I'm not going to sit here and bullcrap you guys and think I'm going to come up with some random thing. I just like Tybura in this one. I don't know why. It's just a gut play. And I know Zach's going to come back from the bathroom and he's going to give me this whole breakdown about why Volkov's going to win and he's beating all these people and blah, blah, blah. And then Monday morning, we're going to record and he's going to say, you were right.
I'm for sure not saying that. For sure not saying that. Because guess what?
I'm probably going to be wrong.
Because guess what? Volkov wins this fight and he wins it rather easily. How about that?
I'm just going off. It's just a gut. I'm
okay.
probably dead wrong.
I like Tybura, and he's got a nice little thing going, right? He's got a nice little winning streak.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Sergey Spivak, very good win.
Yeah,
very good win. But Spivak, not an elite guy. We've established this, right? He's kind of always going to be a second-tier type guy.
But
Maxim Grisham, Ben Rothwell, Greg Hardy.
He beat the guys
Walt
he's supposed to
Harris,
beat, right? He's beat the guys that he's supposed to beat, and now he's in the top 10. Now he's getting
and he gets smashed by top 5 guys. Guess what? Volkov's a top 5 guy.
Who beat him in the top 5?
Well, Sakaki, right, knocked him out cold. He's going to be a top. Shamil
2 years ago,
out.
But since
Derek
then,
Lewis, top 5 guy. Fabricio Verdum, top tier guy. Tim Johnson, became Bellator's
since
contender.
Fighters evolve, though, right? Like he's made improvements. That was Sakai. It's 2 years.
He lost 4 out of 5 when he was facing those top tier guys. The Walt Harris win was solid, but Walt Harris is probably on his way out. Greg Hardy's on his way out, pretty much.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just,
Alexander
and it really
Volkov,
has. It really.
Volkov was former Bellator heavyweight champ, and he went 5 rounds with Gain. He beat the brakes off of Overeem and Walt Harris. Curtis Blades just took him down and held him, but couldn't even finish him. My
pick has everything I agree with. I don't know why I'm yawning. Man, we got a long night. I better not be yawning. I don't know. I just look at it and I'm just like, Tybura's going to beat him. I don't know how he does it. I don't know. I'm not betting it. This is just more of just a pick.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
You're going to lose.
Maybe.
No, you're losing.
Maybe.
Okay.
These
next 3 fights,
he's going to be pissed on Monday if I'm right.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
What?
If you are right on this one,
you're going to take 2 body shots from Cole?
Sure. No, but what happens when you're wrong on this one?
Nothing. I'm just wrong.
I'm not signing up for an extra body shot from Cole.
Next up.
I'll tell you what, you're wrong on this one. We get to set the hat on fire.
Why?
Because I hate that thing.
I haven't worn it in a while.
I know.
All right, let's talk about Dan Hooker and Islam Makhachev. Lightweight division. Islam Makhachev and Dan Hangman Hooker. Islam is 20-1. He stands 5'10" with a 70.5-inch reach. The Hangman, 21-10. He stands 6 foot tall with a 75.5-inch reach. He has a 5-inch reach advantage over Islam in this fight.
He does over everybody.
You gotta love freaking Dan Hooker, man.
Well, so here's the thing. My heart, I want to ride with Hooker on this one.
I do want to ride with Hooker
like
so
Dan
bad.
Hooker.
Yeah.
I'm becoming more and more of a fan of Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, think of who gets knocked out the way he did against Michael Chandler and then recovers and is already being talked about. He's 1 win away from being a contender again.
He's got a tall task in front of him.
The tallest.
Because Islam's almost fighting a home match over there because he's going to have to
literally fighting the guy that is everybody, including myself, thinks will be the 155-pound champ by the end of next year.
Isn't it crazy how I hear people all saying, well, Islam hasn't fought anybody. And it's like, have you watched his fights?
Nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah. Not only that, but if you watch his fights, if you have any knowledge of MMA and you watch this guy fight, you just see the talent. There's just certain guys you just watch and you're like, that guy is good. Like, I don't care who you put in front of him. That guy is good. And he's that guy.
He's that guy, pal.
If Khabib and DC are saying he's the man, I'm going to take their word for it.
Well,
maybe not much as Khabib, but definitely DC. Yeah, they might be playing a little favoritism because
I'm sure they are, but you know what? Results speak for themselves.
True.
The way he choked out Drew Dober, I don't think people understand if you go rewatch that. To get an arm triangle choke from half guard from the other side, that just tells you he has an insane squeeze, right?
He's from Russia, dude.
Yeah, he's from Russia. I think that Dan Hooker will put up a really good fight. I think it goes to a 3-round decision. I think Hooker will have moments where you're like, oh, if he can just get, but it's going to be, you know what it's going to remind, what it reminds me of a little bit?
What's that?
When I was really pulling for Conor against Khabib, where you're like, you go rewatch it, like in the moment, you're like, oh, Conor, he hit him. Like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, if he could put together a comp, like, okay.
Yeah.
But then you go back and rewatch it and know and be like, at no point was Khabib not in total control of that fight.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is going to be like a little bit. I think Hooker will have moments where like, oh, maybe he can get off here. Like, if he keeps kicking the body and beat,
yeah.
Oh, he stayed off the cage. He stopped one takedown. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But eventually you're going to go back and rewatch this fight and just say, Islam controlled this for 3 rounds.
Is he a title contender after this?
100. Dude, he's a title contender right now. Guess what? I think he beats Oliveira right now.
Ooh. Poirier too?
Yeah.
Wow. Big words from Zack today.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
And I love both of those guys.
I know.
And
I know
so
you
excited.
do. I'm actually surprised you said that.
Because
is it because of how long it took you to kind of jump on the Khabib train? You're like, okay, like, because it kind of took you a minute on Khabib.
Well, he's not here. So here's the other thing that I've been noticing too. Not every Dagestani is Khabib.
True.
Right?
Yep.
Khabib never even really got wobbled. I guess Michael Johnson kind of made him like, okay, tagged him really hard once, but he didn't like what people call that wobble. Like he didn't wobble that bad,
yeah.
Right? He didn't like Kevin Lee stanky leg it.
Yeah.
He's been knocked out before. Islam got knocked out before in the UFC.
Yeah.
So he's not Khabib. Pretty dang close.
Pretty darn close.
And
he keeps getting better and better.
80% of Khabib is probably good enough to be the champ.
Yep.
He shuts down Oliveira's jiu-jitsu. Poirier maybe has a little bit better of a shot because I think he'd be a little more physical with him. And then I think somebody that's just as reckless and violent as Justin Gaethje will always have a shot in a fight like that.
Gotta love Dan.
You know what I want to see now is Islam versus Michael Chandler after this.
Ooh.
Because Michael Chandler believes that his wrestling could compete with Khabib's, and if Chandler could beat Islam, then it's like at least a conversation would be like, maybe.
Chandler is not going to get that shot because he's going to lose to Gaethje. So unfortunately, I agree. Don't think he's going to get it. But I do. Yeah.
I'm projecting like what would be fun here. But no, Islam wins. We're going to be cheering for Hooker and we're going to be screaming and he's going to have his where we're going to be like, oh, he could do it. And then he's going to lose 30-27.
Next up, co-main event in the bantamweight division. This one's going to be a banger. Peter Yan against Corey Sandhagen. Yan is 15-2, stands 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. Hangman 14-3. He stands 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. Let's hear it. Give me your official pick.
Okay. I promise that I'm going to stop doing this. I keep picking against Yan.
You're going to do it again? He's thinking about it.
I think Yan wins. But I think Sandhagen has the best chance. He has more tools to beat Jan than I think anybody else besides TJ Dillashaw. Let's be honest. The Aljo fight was not that competitive.
No.
Like we saw enough to that to go, we know it's going to happen in a rematch, right?
Yep.
And Aljo kind of pulled off a super slick, fast submission on Sandhagen.
He did. Yep. Which
props, got to give him credit for that. But also, I think if they ran it back, I think that fight would look very different. Like if we would have saw 3 rounds or 5 rounds in that fight, I think from watching Sandhagen and what he did to Dillashaw, which a lot of people think that Sandhagen won that fight. I didn't personally. I thought I had Dillashaw winning through the 2 rounds, but it was a razor thin close. And I think Dillashaw is the best bantamweight of all time.
Yeah.
And so if you could hang with Dillashaw like that, you belong in that cage with anybody. I haven't seen Petr Yan beat an elite guy in their prime that I feel like is like, oh, wow. I think Sandhagen's been in there with the better guys.
Jose Aldo just a year ago
looked phenomenal. But guess what? Jose also has a good, he's like an old Mazda right now.
He's been on a tear though. He's been on a tear.
He's got 1,000,000 miles on him. He's solid. He's reliable. But guess what? You know what he hasn't been able to do on his tear?
What's that?
Win a 5-round fight. And Aldo was right in that fight for 3 rounds. And the 4th round, he was done. And Jan drug him into deep waters, which is indicative of Jose Aldo's past his prime. He's still a monster, greatest featherweight career of all time. Like no and ifs or buts. He's a monster, but he's not a 5-round championship fighter anymore.
He's looked pretty dang good, man. I get what you're saying.
Rounds 4 and 5 though. And that's where the younger fighter with his less mind, like I just think that Jan, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to discount it wrong.
No,
we're talking about 2 of the 3 top 35ers on the entire planet.
Yeah.
So we are splitting hairs,
yeah.
Right? But when I'm splitting hairs and I look at it and I look at what Sandhagen and what he did in 5 rounds with TJ Dillashaw, and I look what Petr Yan did to Uriah Faber, to, like
here,
like, and I still firmly believe this. I 100% believe that Henry Cejudo retired just not to fight Petr Yan because I think he knew he was a problem. Along with all these guys, they're all a problem.
Yeah.
Jan's terrifying. I have a hard time saying I think Sandhagen's going to win, but I think Sandhagen has a dang good chance of holding a belt over his shoulder, which turns that saga really weird, right?
It turns really weird.
Jan beat the brakes off Aljo. Aljo weirdly has the belt because Jan did throw the illegal strike, and that's on him, but Aljo's the champ. But Aljo beat Sandhagen, and so they're doing a unification title fight. And then Jan gets a rematch with Sandhagen if Sandhagen wins, it gets real messy and weird. So I'm cheering for chaos and that Sandhagen wins. I think Petr Yan wins.
I'm picking
my
Jan.
Official pick is Jan, but I'm cheering for Sandhagen in the chaos.
I'm with you there. I think Jan wins. I'm going to tell you what stands out to me. He just fought TJ Dillashaw 3 months ago in a 5-round war.
But he didn't take much damage. TJ took all the damage.
Still, though, you're still in a 5-round fight. So you got your camp leading up to that. You do a 5-round fight. You go to war. And now you're right back into camp. And now you're fighting arguably the champ, right? I think like you said, I think Petr Yan is just going to wear. I think he's going to wear on him.
So
I think he wears on him, and I actually think he finishes him. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he finishes him in the late 4th round.
I'm taking the over, whatever it is. I think it goes to a decision. Actually, the way if Sandhagen wins, I think it's because he finished him. He caught him in a submission, knocked him out. Something.
Yeah. See, I don't see that happen. I think Petr Yan's just too strong, too physical. He's just going to chop him up. What do we got? Man, the time is flying by today.
Yeah. It's because it's like Christmas tonight. I will say this too, though, and I'm trying to be better about taking my emotions out of my picks.
Yeah,
that's why I'm picking Jan to win.
Okay.
But one thing, but I was leaning Sandhagen. And one thing that made me feel really good about that was at the face-offs when Jan did that and Sandhagen didn't flinch. I like that.
I did like that.
I like
the
that.
Mamba mentality.
He's just like,
somebody broke it. Was it Kavanaugh that broke it down that I sent you? Coach Kavanaugh that broke it down. Like they're conditioned, fighters are conditioned to not flinch at that because they know nothing's going to happen. There was a breakdown. Somebody broke down a paragraph of why that happened. And I was like, that makes sense. Like, anyways, so we're both going Jan on this one, but we're cheering for Sandhagen. Man, how can you, do we have to pick somebody in the main event or can we just sit back and watch Glover Teixeira and Jan Blachowicz fight? Like,
yeah.
Like, I just want to watch these guys fight. I like both of these guys. They're both freaking studs. I mean, and it's not like, I mean, obviously Teixeira, he's 42 years old, but Blachowicz is freaking, he's almost 39. Both on 5-fight win streaks. Height and reach, similar. I don't know about the odds. Blachowicz being a minus 275. Comeback is 225 on Teixeira. And he looked good at the weigh-ins, too. Teixeira looked good.
I think it's a really close fight.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
I think Glover Teixeira is the UFC 205 champion.
Ooh. How does he beat him? How does he beat John?
I think he wrestles him for 5 rounds.
I don't know if he can.
I think he does. I like, okay, go look at Glover's last fights.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
He just keeps beating dudes.
And he's got a chin.
Dude.
Because he was rocked in that Santos fight. He was done.
Carl Robertson, whatever. Ian Kutalaba, but he finished both those guys.
Anthony Smith.
Krylov was good. What he did to Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos made me go, oh, he's still elite. Oh, okay.
I don't know if the elite would be the word in the Santos, because Santos had him freaking rocked pretty good. He's just got a chin from out of this world.
Dude, but who hits harder than Santos?
Blachowicz can make a damn good argument for Jan.
Santos is the last person to beat Blachowicz, who I think, from what we've seen now, Blachowicz would beat Santos in a rematch.
Yeah.
But that's all we have to go off of. And if that's all the information we have to go off of. So I'm sitting there going. And that legendary Polish power, hold the phone, right? That legendary Polish power didn't knock out the small guy in Izzy.
Didn't knock out Izzy.
Right? It didn't knock out Izzy.
But it knocked out Reyes, it knocked out Anderson, it knocked out Rockhold. Other than that, he's choking people out.
Rockhold had the worst chin on the planet.
It's horrible.
Okay, like you stop that. Right
there isn't a lot of power in there.
I'm just saying, like, he has more submission wins as a pro than knockouts, and I think this is the first time that he's actually fighting a better grappler than him. Somebody that's significantly better at grappling than he is.
I don't hate it.
Legit black belt on the ground. Glover Teixeira is like, this is like the last stand for the OGs.
Yeah.
Of those, of that, the little Nogs and, all those guys at 205. Like, Glover is like, this is the last stand of it. And you know what? Win or lose, I think he retires after this fight.
Yeah.
I think I'm not breaking news. I've heard a lot of people say that they think that. But I actually think Glover is the kryptonite to what Jan brings to the table.
I don't hate it.
I think if it goes to a 5-round decision, I think Glover wins. I think Jan has to knock him out, and I don't think he submits him. There's no way he submits him in my mind.
What's the odds on the submission by
Jan?
Yeah.
What about submission by Glover? Because Glover could submit him. Glover takes his back or something, dude. We're wrapping a belt around a new champ.
Teixeira by submission is plus 750, plus 1200 by Blachowicz.
Yeah, see, that's not happening. You're not submitting Glover.
They actually think, if you're Vegas, they're thinking this fight's going to end 3rd, 4th round. Like, the odds of this going into the 5th round, fight starts the 5th round is plus 136. Starts the 4th round is pretty much even money.
But look at like Like, look at who Glover lost to. A decision to Corey Anderson. Okay.
Dude, he's 42
He
years
got
old.
knocked out by Gus. Okay. Got knocked out by Rumble Johnson. So did everybody around then.
When I was talking to Hillary after we left my appointment, I told her, I'm like, we got to be fast because I still got to drive back home and change and go to the Maverick Center. And we wasted 20 minutes.
We didn't waste anything. This is valuable information.
For the fans.
This is for the fans.
For the fans.
The David's Plan MMA podcast for the people. And Glover Teixeira, Monday afternoon, is going to be the UFC 205 champ. Put that on TikTok.
Wow. I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one on the main event too. The thing is I can't bet this. Like there's no, I don't see the value. Yeah. The value is Teixeira. The value is definitely Teixeira.
Because he's scary here. Like, dude, let's put it this way. I don't know how much money would make you uncomfortable to bet on. $100?
That's uncomfortable. Yeah. Right? I mean, you know me, I'm $5-10. Yeah. Just nickel and diamond.
We're just play money, right?
Yeah.
If I put $100 on Jan, I would be terrified for the whole fight. But guess what? I'd put $100 on Volkov and feel great about it.
See,
I'd put $100 on, 10 different people on this card before I would about Jan. Like Glover.
Dude, would you put $100 on Lee against Chimaev?
No.
Who's your biggest upset on the card? Like if you're looking on this card, who do you think is going to be the biggest upset?
Glover.
All right. I don't hate it. There's going to be some upsets. We just don't know where they're at yet, folks.
I do. Well,
I think it's Tabura. And I'm going to put a little star by this, even though I picked Magomed. Don't sleep on Ozdemir.
I'm obviously.
Don't sleep on him.
I'm sleeping on him.
I don't sleep. I'm not picking him, but I'm just saying.
Remember when Yuri ran through him like he was a child?
I know. Things change, Zach. People evolve.
Yeah, Ozdemir's changed ever since DC broke his will.
Oh, he's probably going to sleep because Mago's a beast.
He's lost 3 out of. How did he beat Rakic?
There you go. See, that's
how in the world?
You might be saying, how the hell did he beat Ankalaev on Monday morning or Monday afternoon?
I don't think I'm going to.
Do you have a DraftKings lineup?
Of course I do. It's great.
Let's hear it because I got to drive home and change my clothes and be at the Mavericks by 4.
We're going to start with Ankalaev.
All right.
Because not only do I think he beats him, I think he gets a dominant finish.
All right.
Petrosky, you have to put him in your DraftKings lineup this week. If you want to make money, you have to put Petrosky in your DraftKings lineup.
Okay.
He's only $8,600. It's probably the most lopsided fight on the entire card, I believe. I think he just wrestles him to death.
Okay.
As we all know, you need a couple underdogs.
Yeah, who's your dogs?
Glover Teixeira is only $7,200.
Ooh, I don't mind that at all.
I think he racks up some points.
Okay.
If he doesn't win, I think, like you said, it'll go at least 3 or 4 rounds.
Okay.
He'll rack up some points.
I like it.
Volkov.
I don't hate it.
He's going to stand on the outside and he's going to pick Marcin apart from the outside. I think he wins decision. I like the over in that fight. I don't normally do this, but I think this is the best way to do it because I do believe Sandhagen Petillon is going 5 rounds. You ready?
I don't see an early finish. You take a Sandhagen?
I've got both of them in my lineup.
I love it.
Sandhagen and Jan.
I like it.
The volume and the pace for 135 title fight.
Yeah.
High volume, high pace, a lot of scoring, a lot of action.
I like it.
See both of them put points up, and then that way you're guaranteed nice cash on a winner.
I like it.
So
I like it.
My 6.
Okay. I'm in. Well,
hey, everybody, tune in tonight to the Fierce Fighting Championships. Or, hey, get off your butts. Come down to the Maverick Center. Say hi to me and Jason. We're going to have fun. Come support local MMA. We support all local MMA. We love all, we love all the shows.
Love them all.
Because the one show's not here in Utah anymore. So we love all the shows now here in Utah. And come support. And there's going to be some great fights. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an epic night. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right. Until Monday.
Go Braves.
We out.